I've spent $30,043 worth of Frost Stars in Whiteout Survival in 153 days. Brother in Arms just started. I got a lot to talk about because I'm reading the comments you guys are giving me, and I think I'm being misinterpreted, but let's get into it a little bit. So first of all, what we're doing with Brother in Arms, like literally I reached out to other alliances in the state. Yes, we're doing this kind of thing where we say like, you know, we're going to purge people and all this, but we're not doing it aggressively. We're really just trying to get rid of inactive power. And I know it's not really going to help for matchmaking or anything. What it's really about is denying other opponents free points, number one. Number two, it does send a message of like unity and consolidation and merger, but we're not forcing it on anybody. We're not forcing anyone to do anything. And we're certainly sending the message that, hey, we really don't want to affect active players. So there's so many things you can do. You can join another alliance temporarily just to be safe. You can shield to be safe. And honestly, if you just reach out to us and say like, hey, you know, I'm active player, but I'm working, you know, next couple days, I really can't log on every 8 hours and bubble up. We're going to try our best to make sure that everyone knows, hey, don't touch this person. They're actually active. That is not the way I've heard anybody execute something like this. You know, and for all the people who are out there saying like, oh, you guys are on your way to being a tyrant state. No. That's not at all what we're doing. So it's more of an event. And the thing is that some people really like having this event structured this way because it gives them something to do in between the next SVS. Like this is a war game and people want to fight. They don't want to just attack a tile or something, right? Like they want to go get some resources from a city. And if there's cities out there that aren't being used from some of these lower alliances, I mean, literally I reached out to one of the other alliances recently and I said like, hey, are you guys prepared? You know, for BAA, it's coming up. I want to make sure all your players know, make sure you're communicating to them. Is there any help you need, any support you need? This is literally a conversation I had. I had to help them learn. This is the R5 I'm talking to. I had to help them learn how to go into their member list and see who's active and not. And she comes back to me about, 10 minutes later. She's like, yeah, I think I'm pretty much alone here. Like, so literally she's the only one who's active. Like everybody in her alliance hasn't logged in like 3 or 4 days. Like, this is nuts. Like we need people active in the state and all this. So, and it is a war game. Again, I'm not going to repeat myself on that, but like, I don't feel like I need to justify myself too much, but I do need to make sure that people who out there who are talking about like doing this in a way that is a tyrant and all, you should know me. If you've been watching my channel, that's not me, right? I'm not going to do stuff like that. Like, yes, I will have an aggressive side to me. And if you, cross me, I'll definitely have a reaction, right? Don't mistake my kindness for weakness ever. But that aside, like, I'm trying to just be a reasonable person. I'm trying to act as a coordinator and a unifier across the state. So why would I do something like that? We're not trying to be tyrants here. So that's what's going on with Brother in Arms. I know a lot of you said, oh, you should show some of your Brother in Arms stuff. Like, it's just hard because the time zones in our alliance in my recording schedule doesn't really line up for it that well. And we're not really doing this to be super aggressive. We're not going after some other big players or anything like that. It's actually more of like a cleanup. It's like a cleanup effort more than anything else. We're doing it to get some points, get some resources, do a little cleanup, and that's it. It's nothing super exciting. So that's what's going on with Brother in Arms. Now, King of Icefield, on the other hand, this is just about trying to get your basic points. There's not a lot I have to do here, so I already did an Essence Stone pop-up pack the other day. I don't want to keep on pulling that out of my hat, but there is some stuff I can do here with expert skills. Oh, and before I forget, because Troop Speedups is in here as well, let me show you what's going on in the state. And I got tied up in something that I'm going to try really hard not to keep getting tied up in this. So I had some good conversations with one of the players I talked to in the game, Bardown. If you're watching, hey, thanks for your support and thanks for all the advice and counsel you give me and kind of talking me off the ledge. Although this time I did something before he got a chance to talk me off the ledge. Spencer, by the way, also, if you're watching, get a lot of great advice. And there's just, I can't name everybody. Like a lot of people give me advice in the game. These are just 2 people I've been talking to recently. So here's the thing. If we take a look at the leaderboard, this, I used to be in a situation where I had to make sure I had power in the state because we had some people in the state who were going a little rogue and we weren't sure what's going to happen. Now we're in a better place in the state. I shouldn't worry about this really, right? Like I'm not the number 1 power right now, but I am kind of the number 1 power when it comes to power that matters for holding castle currently. Like it's just a matter of, if somebody's going to outspend me, what can I do, right? I'll just fall in line and I'll still have a place on the team. And that's my mentality right now. As a content creator, sometimes as well, I get tied up into the drama of the situation or wanting to be on top and all that. I can't keep chasing that because I'm going to have a certain budget And there are going to be people in this game who can spend a lot more than me. I've heard a lot of stories about people in this game dropping like 50 grand in just 1 month or something. And that's not going to be something I'll ever be able to do. So I got tied up in that a little bit. And what I did, the troop training pack was still going on. And I figured, you know what? I don't like pressing troops for power, which kind of looks like that's a little bit of the situation there. I don't like pressing troops for power, but I did feel like in my foundry, I didn't have quite enough troops to get through foundry without needing to heal. And I was like, all right, I'll buy the troops. I'm not going to do them now. People in the comments keep on saying like, hey, we can't wait to see you do a big troop training day. So I was like, let me give the people what they want. I'll buy some troops training packs. So I bought it out all the way up to the $100. I bought out the troop training pack. That's why I'm at the $30,000 mark tonight. And I was like, I'll just, at the next SVS prep, I'll have a nice troop training day. But I think I'll never do that again because troops are kind of like fluff power. They're kind of fake power. And what am I trying to do here? I keep on saying I'm trying to be efficient, right? It's power per dollar. Well, troops don't give you power per dollar. You're just, basically training troops to die, So like, I'll get enough troops. I already have enough troops to support my bear, to support city burning, to support everything I need to do in the game right now. I have over 2 million troops right now. That's more than enough than what I need for now. And I'll continue to train troops, of course, but I don't want to spend money on troop training anymore. So I did that kind of as a reaction to say like, well, let me make sure I have enough in the tank for SVS prep so I can like make sure I get enough troops for foundry. But I think that was, not the greatest move. And what do I tell you? I'm here, I'm like playing the game. I'm going to share with you my mistakes and my wins. Hopefully I have better plays than worse plays over time, or more better plays than worse plays over time. But when I make a mistake or do something that I'm not, that I, in retrospect, I think was wrong, I'm going to share it with you because hopefully you'll learn from it as well. So that's what's going on there. I am, however, going to continue to spend and wait for SVS prep. So this is my game plan. Like, I don't want anything to deter me from my game plan anymore. If it turns out that I do my spending and then save and unload it at SVS prep. Now I am going to do some stuff for basic points and power in between, but not a lot. And I'm going to save most of it for SVS prep. And it's just like delayed gratification. Like as long as I'm doing the spending and I'm waiting for SVS prep, then when prep comes along, I'll have my power bump and I'll get all the points that go with it. And, and at that point, if somebody has outspent me and they still have more power than me, all right, great. As long as they're not being, ridiculous and they're fun to play with and they're part of the team, who cares? We're all just one big team together and we can all have fun together. So I got to readjust my mindset. And I'll be honest with you, at the risk of repeating myself, in the early time of the state, we had some situations where I really felt like I needed to defend my people. I don't think we're quite there anymore. Like, yes, there's still always an element to that in a war game, but I do feel we're working great as a state. We have a good synergy going. We have some good stuff going on. So as long as I continue to stay relevant, it's not going to be a problem essentially. And it'll be good for the state ultimately to have multiple big whales. So no problems there. And I just wanted to kind of document that because I know a lot of you like me getting into some of the gameplay dynamics, like the mental part of the game and the social part of the game and the state politics and all that. That's kind of why I'm bringing that up. So with that out of the way, let's get into what my game plan is for tonight, because there's not a lot of stuff going on by way of events. We got the Dreamscape memory, of course. I'll continue to press this. This really gives me anxiety, this game, because I'm up to, what am I at? Up to level 8 now or something. Yeah, I'm at level 8 now. And for me, it's really hard. It's like you have when you get up to the upper levels of all these levels, you're going to have 20 something seconds. I think it's 26 seconds to do 12 items. I can barely do it half the time. And if I get lucky, and then if I don't get lucky, I've got to spend some of the, whatever they are, bells or whatever to get more. So, this game gives me a little anxiety. It is fun to a degree, but it's not my favorite personally. But what I do want to get into is some of these daily deals. So we got the Artisan's Trove. Now, here's the thing with the Artisan's Trove. I went through the different combinations available here. And for me, at the state of my account right now, what I really need is this pack right here. Now, I'm actually going to buy this pack out, but this is a good point to bring up the Frost Stars. I recently got an affiliate link that'll be in the description. And if you use that affiliate link, you'll be able to help support the channel. I get a little Frost Stars and it doesn't cost you anything. You just have to use that link whenever you top up, and then I'll get a little kickback and you'll get the same deal that you normally get with Frost Stars. But the only way I ever buy is through the official store. And instead, all you do is instead of using this link that's in-game link, you just use my link instead that'll be in the description of this video. And look, right now they have a 5% extra deal going on. You see a little 5% bouncing. So I actually topped up a bunch today doing the same thing that I'm asking you to do because, 5% extra, why not? And then give me a little kickback, why not? You can support me, support the channel, and help me out. But this is the thing. The reason I topped up so much is because first of all, I've been working a little extra. I've been contracting a little extra, and I got a little extra money. So I was like, let me take this opportunity to put a little extra in the game while I got this bonus going on. And then I looked at my chief gear. Now, my chief gear right now is maxed, but I was being told that like within a certain number of days, maybe within 30 days or so, I think a little less than 30 days now, that's going to unlock. And I want to continue to spend on chief gear just to make sure that I'm ready to go when it unlocks. If I just don't do anything now, then it'll stagnate. And then when it's time to unlock, I'll have nothing in the tank to do anything with. So I got to continue to spend. And one of the things I'm going to need is the polishing solutions and the hardened alloy. So I put in that extra money tonight so that I can buy this a bunch of levels. And here's the thing, I just put in a little extra money tonight because, I'm making good money on the side, and I'm going to buy this out tonight because it will be a while until I can actually use that. But now look at what I got in the tank. I've got almost enough to get what I want going. And basically what I want to get going is I want to get at least my infantry to like pink T1 or so. And that's going to take quite a bit. So I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting close. And that'll be fun when it finally unlocks to be able to push that right away. So I got to do a little bit of advanced planning there. And then the custom armament chest. I said this yesterday. I am so blocked on mythic gear and gear in general. Like I'm doing this again. I put in extra money. I can't do this every day. But I just put in some extra money because I did some extra work. And so this is why, I'm doing it. And then the pet chests, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do this like this. Buy that at the $20 mark. There's not a lot else that I want to spend on tonight anyways. And now the tech. The main reason I'm buying this is because I do still feel like I am down on research. And we do have like War Academy that's going to be opening up somewhat soon-ish. And I'm already feeling down on some of the research that I have in my current tech tree. So I'm going to buy this just at the $50 mark. Maybe not the most efficient thing to do in the world, but what are you going to do when you need to play a little catch up? And then if we look at, I don't need the Hall of Chiefs pack, but Fire Crystal Energies, let's remember that it's hard to get this in quantity. So I'm going to just, buy this at the $20 mark and that's it. And I'll show you why, because basically that's just give me some VIP points. But I'll take the daily deals. We have the Fire Crystal special deal. We'll grab this, see if I get lucky. Yeah, all right, 9, got lucky. All right, and then we'll grab the weekly card, grab this claim, and this claim. And I think actually, yeah, we got another week of the weekly card, so I'll just leave that, and I'll do that again later. So let me show you why I held back on the Fire Crystal, because what we have in the deals section now is the Crystal Reactivation. And essentially, if you look at this, let's see, look at this one here. Right, this is 300. This ends up being for $50. So you get 300 here, and you get a minimum of 50 here, because there's 10 of these chests that are going to give you a minimum of 5. So the minimum you're going to get in value here is 350 fire crystals for that $50. And if we go to the Fire Crystal Fanatic pack, you can see you're going to get pretty much the same deal, but a little less on the speed ups. But you're kind of like playing a gamble here. So it's like, do I get 7 guaranteed with, close to the same number of speed ups, or do I get 7 with more speed ups guaranteed and nothing else? It's kind of like a little gamble you're playing, and I'm gonna do that gamble tonight. So let's see. We'll grab as much as I can here, and then we'll grab it all the way up, and let's see if I get lucky tonight. Let's see if I can get it better than 7 per dollar. So grab these. Let's see. Grab this. And this. And this. So you see what's happening here? It's like you have a chance at doing better than 7 per dollar, and it's just a matter of, are you going to get lucky or not? That's what this comes down to. So bought all these out. All right, now let's see if I got lucky. But the thing is, I think, you know, looking at that math again, I think it's actually worth, like I said, you can only get these so many ways. I'm going to buy this at the $50 mark as well. So there we go. I won't go to the $100 mark, just because, you know, the VIP return on it isn't that great. And I'm already spending, you know, quite liberally tonight. Maybe I'll kind of get it out of my system. All right, so 17. So if I do all 17 of these and only get the 5, then I should get like 85. But there's a chance that you can do really well on this. I might get like 200 or something, right? So let's see how my luck goes. Hey, look at that. That is pretty darn nice right there. I must have got several good hits in there. So 330 extra fire crystals. So this ended up being worth it for me tonight, definitely. That ended up making it, you know, pretty valuable. Let's see if I get lucky on the weekly card. Yeah, all right, my luck is going good tonight. That's more than the 5 that you're supposed to get. So my fire crystal stash is looking pretty good, but that's not anywhere near what it needs to be. I need this to be substantially higher than that still. So, you know, even though I'm you know, tempted to go all the way up to the $100 on the fire crystal deal, but I just know there will be other deals along the way. I don't need to keep going up to the $100 on that one when I'm going to be able to get like Mia's Fortune Hut and some other things where I can get some fire crystals as well. So let's take a look at what else is in the deal section. We got the Journey Treasures, and we'll just clear that. I think the rest of these is just kind of basic things. We'll just clear them out. All right, so that's all that's in the deal section. So I guess with that, we'll go into the backpack and see what else we got going on. 363. I'm going to do these 100 at a time like I like to do, just so I can, the luck is more evident. Just one on that one. Just one on that one. And just one on that one. All right. How about on the 63? Can I get one on the 63 too? Just for good luck? Yeah, all right. I got one on the 63. All right, not bad. Not super great luck or anything, but not bad luck by any stretch. All right. And if we take a look at what's going on with the speed ups, you know, this is how things are looking. I think that's looking pretty nice for this FC5 push we'll have coming up for SVS prep. You know, I'm looking pretty good. Of course, you know, there's always something right around the corner that's going to zero that out on you, but I think that stash is looking pretty nice for now. So the other thing we can do is we can go into the heroes, and I'm continuing to work on getting this gear up. So we'll get that as far up as we can with the purchase that I did tonight. So that's looking a little better. And that'll help with, you know, arena basically and my overall power. And there's one more thing that we can do tonight, and that is I need points for King of Icefield, and the way I'm going to do that, I think, is going to be with the expert skills speed ups. So let's take a look at that. And whoops, wrong one, wrong thing. Take a look at the expert skills. And let's see.
Of war may fade. The glory of courage
so we'll
eternal.
Speed that up. And then that's going to need some more speeding up. Look at that. Or because more. Yeah, let's see. Speed that up. So now that's ready to go. And then so that's, I think that's all the points I needed. Let's just check that out quick. So I know how much, if I do anything more, I'm splurging, right? Yeah. So I got my basic points. So now anything I do beyond that is just a matter of, do I, you know, want to do more to try to rank or something like that. But I'm not trying to rank. I'm not trying to do any of that. So if I'm staying true to what I'm trying to do and save as much as I can for SVS and just basic points and stuff, like,
The glory of courage burns
you know, it would be best to actually wait on these. So I can wait on this. That's, you know, it doesn't really matter to me too much. It will help with power, but, you know, we get credit for these books of knowledge. So I think I'm just going to wait on that. And then I'll continue. Let's see. I'm going to need these pressed quite a bit to be able to get this one up, which is going to take a while. So let's see. I'll press. Yeah, I'm going to need 2 of these at 10 and 1 of them at 5. So I might as well just get this one up to 5 as well. What does it take to get it up to 5? Yeah, it doesn't take all that much. So you know what? This one I'll just take care of right now. And then, man, this takes so much research to, or, you know, so much resources, I'll say, time and everything to get this up. So attack and defense, health and lethality. I'll go for extra health and lethality, get this up to 5, and just get that going. So now we got another thing being researched in the tank. So that's what I'm going to do for experts tonight. Man, it's so tempting because I just want to do something to push a little power before SVS, but it's so tempting. I really don't need it though. Like, there's other things coming up for sure that would be nice to have a little extra power for, but I don't really need it. So if I'm going to try to stay disciplined on making sure that I'm, you know, spending and prepping for SVS prep, I really got to try to get better with this discipline of doing kind of bare minimum outside of SVS and then having the big pop for every SVS prep. It's going to be really hard, guys. It's going to be really hard because what our natural instinct is to push for power all the time. And when you see other people doing it, you want to do it also. But I really got to kind of like work on my willpower. I got to try really hard. So I'm going to do my best. So speaking of pressing power and all that, you know, and I'm kind of stagnated right now. Like the research center, this isn't going to really do anything, right? Because I've just got this item that's out there. Let's see, we got 50, 20, 30 is a typical thing here. And I don't expect, unless I get some random luck here, there's nothing going to happen and I'm not going to really try hard because I just got this one long research. It's in the oven. I'm not going to speed it up until we get to SVS prep. So just going to basically clear this out. Figured maybe if I got lucky, go for it. But otherwise, just going to, you know, like almost got lucky on that one. But kind of is what it is. Nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to press it ridiculously. Now, if we go to the Gear Forge, this one, something bothers me about this one because my gear is maxed out, and yet Hunty got 2 more levels than me, and I don't know if he just got lucky or it's like, this isn't the thing about pressing power. This is just like, what am I doing wrong? So I'm going to try, like, I think the typical ratio here is something like this. And last time I tried this, it didn't seem to work. I think this is the right ratio, right? For Gear Forge. So there's nothing more I can do to press gear. All right. Maybe I just got unlucky last time. Oh, so close. No, I think I'm just not getting lucky. Look at that. How unlucky. So yeah, I think there's nothing else I can do to press power. There's not a lot I can do with these ratios. Like, what else can I do? You know, there's not a lot else you can do with these ratios and stuff. It's just, you got to get lucky enough to clear another level. So it is what it is. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can't push my gear any farther. So I think either I'm doing something wrong, which you guys can tell me in the comments, or it's just random luck. So, and I think that's what it is. But tell me in the comments if you think something else is going on there. So the last thing we'll take a look at quick is VIP. We'll just do these claims and pop in here and see if I can get lucky with another Frost Sphere spin. So basically if I go all the way to 80 spins, that's about on average that I've been doing. Strictly speaking, you don't have to get them within 80. You can get them a lot sooner, and that's getting lucky, and you can get them later. You can get them all the way to 100 because they give you a pity reward at 100. They give you a pity if you do 100 spins and don't get any. So let's see. Last night I got one after 30 spins. let's see if I can repeat that luck tonight, because anytime I can repeat that luck increases the, it reduces the amount of time that I got to wait to get this thing. So let's see what happens. Here we go. There's 10, 20, 30, 40 spins, 50 spins, 60 spins, 70 spins, 80 spins. All right, I got it in 80 again. Man, I don't know if they, it clearly says what the odds are here. It sure seems like I'm getting a pity reward at the 80, but I don't know. Maybe they changed it and didn't update the text, because it sure seems like that's what's happening. But let's grab that. One more puzzle piece coming together. I'm at a clean 30% of the way there now. 30% of the way there. And I think I'm going to wait for this to reset to probably get more charm stuff, or maybe I'll get some more Chief Gear stuff. I don't really need the charm guides right now, so don't feel like I want to spend that on charm guides. So although that's really tempting, but it's just not a great value. And the skin tokens, I have a new appreciation for. They're hard to come by now, so it's going to take forever to get that Mushroom City skin, because they come at such a slow trickle. This would not necessarily be a horrible thing to do, but it does cost a lot to get them this way if I were to do that. So I don't think that's the right thing to spend them on. That's all I have for you tonight, but do remember to check the description of the video for the affiliate link. That'll link you to the official store, where I'll get a little bit of Frost Stars and you'll get the same deal you normally get. They have 5% off going on right now, so now's the time to take advantage of that. And just so you know, I only ever buy from the official store because I think buying anywhere else is too risky, and I like getting the 5% bonus when they do this special and all that. It's just the safest way to buy, and it's the most convenient thing to do. I love using it, so hopefully you do as well. And all you gotta do is use my link and we both get a little something for it. So that would be a great way to help me out. But the other way you can help me out is super simple. All you gotta do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then turn on notifications. That way, whenever I post anything, you'll know about it right away. Thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, I'll see you later.